Let's do some more meals in a jar. How about chili? Hi friends, welcome to Carrie's Culinary Crafts, where we talk all things food. So I had a lot of requests ever since I put that meals in a jar and meals in Mylar bags. I've had lots of requests to do more of those. And the biggest request that I'm getting is for chili, because everybody loves chili. Except for me. I think I'm the only person on the planet that does not really care for chili. I will eat it, but it's not my thing. But anyway, for those of you that are chili lovers, which is everybody else on this planet but me, we're going to go ahead and make up some chili. And I am using this book again. This is a wonderful book. I showed this the last time. This is the Meals in a Jar Handbook, and it's by Stephanie Peterson. And the recipe that I'm doing today is a classic chili on page 74. And I will show you if you want to do a screenshot of that so you can get the ingredients. I'm going to be doing two different size variations. I'm going to be doing the full size, which is a serving for 4 to 6. And then I'm also going to be doing the 2 serving size like this. So I figured this would be like perfect if I wanted to make chili dogs sometimes, or put chili on top of nachos or something like that. You don't need a whole quart, but one of these pint jars would actually be perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both those sizes, as well as Mylar bags. I'm gonna do these and the double sizes. Now I could use gallon bags and do the 4 to 6 serving, but I think I personally will get more use out of it by putting it in the smaller servings. And besides, you can always use 2 if you need to double your serving size. So with that, let's get started on doing some meals in a jar and Mylar bags and chili. So I'm going to show you all the ingredients I have out. Now, you know, chili is like kind of like an everything thing. So just because I am using certain things, that doesn't mean you need to use certain things. I want to use up things that I already have open, and I wanted to use up some different kind of beans, because I don't use them that often. So chili is a perfect thing to use up those beans that you don't use quite as often. So for this recipe, I'm going to use some instant lentils. Now remember, what instant means, they've already been cooked and then they have been freeze dried. So that is what makes them instant. That's how everything comes together, 15 to 20 minutes, whatever you need. So I have lentils here. This is something that I don't use that often. Now, normally if I was making a chili, I would use black beans, because I absolutely love black beans and kidney beans, you know, but these are just some that I don't use that often. So that's why I want to go ahead and stick them in these chili mixes. Okay, so here is instant lentils. Here's the ground beef, and you certainly don't have to add beef if you're a vegetarian and want to stick strictly with the beans and veggies. That's fine. I have a little bit of hamburger left, so I'm going to try and stretch that a little bit. And we have some diced bell peppers. I have minced onions. I have like the freeze-dried and dehydrated garlic here. And I have instant navy beans. What is this? Oh, and I have some pinto beans here. So, I think that is all of my ingredients other than my seasonings. You can use whatever seasonings you like in chili. You know me, I'm still trying to work through a bunch of things for the Freezer Pantry Challenge of 2023. So I found some mixes. You know, I'm dying to get through all of those mixes. So I found 2 chili mixes and I found 2 enchilada mixes. So I'm gonna kind of stick these in a bowl, mix them all together, and that is going to be my seasoning that I use for the chili. You can't go wrong with either of those flavors, enchilada and chili. Okay. And I also have some of my tomato powder here. This is something that you can buy. I make it on my own. I've got several jars of this, and you will need quite a bit for the chili. I think you need a cup for the quart jar serving for the 4 to 6 servings. So I have several jars of this. This is something that I dehydrate myself. I mean, every year I'm, you know, canning some kind of a tomato product. So the peels that I peel from the tomatoes, I go ahead and dehydrate them, and then I grind them down into a powder. So that is how I get my tomato powder, but you can also purchase it. It is not that expensive. It is one of those ingredients that is pretty affordable. So okay, with that, we're gonna go ahead and start putting some things together. I have for the Mylar bags, you need your iron. So I have my flat iron over here heating up. And I do need to get a canning funnel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Then I'm gonna get myself set up. So I'm gonna go ahead, mix this up really good. Now remember, you can use whatever seasonings you want to use for your chili. I just wanted to go ahead and use up those seasoning packets that I have. Now remember, we're going to be sealing these and these. Okay, we will do our jars first. Here is my salt. Okay. All right, just gonna bring a bunch of measuring cups out. Okay, so for the ingredients, we need, this is for the quart jars. For the quart jars, we're gonna need 2 cups of whatever type of beans that you're using. Just mix them up any way you want, but you're gonna need 2 cups worth. And then we're gonna need 1 cup of tomato powder. And the recipe calls for 1 cup of beef, but I'm not quite putting that much in. I think maybe I'll just do, and maybe in fact, I'll use 2.5 cups of beans and then 1/2 cup of beef. That sounds like a good idea. And that way we have that full 3 cups of beans and meat. Okay, then we'll need 1/2 cup of onion, 1/2 cup of peppers, beef bouillon. We need beef bouillon. Got to get that out. All right, beef bouillon. Beef bouillon powder. Okay, friends, we're going to start putting these jars together now. I'm going to go ahead and put in 1/2 of the meat and beans. Now, the recipe calls for 2 cups of beans and 1 cup of meat. Now, that's total of 3 cups. I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all and know that it's just 3 cups of meats and beans. You can do whatever, you want. You can do 3 cups of beans if you want this vegetarian. You can do the full cup of meat, 2 cups of beans. But I think I'm gonna do 2.5 cups of beans and then 1/2 cup of meat, just to let so my beef stretches a little bit further. So 1/2 cup of meat. Okay, and then I'll do 1 cup. So I did 1.5, and I still need to do another 1.5 cups. So I'm gonna go ahead with this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put in some of my tomato powder. Now you need approximately 1 cup of tomato powder. Now we're going to get that tomato powder stirred down into all those, the beans and meat, because it has a lot of dead space in there. So I just like to kind of mix it around so all that powder gets mixed down into there. And then I will go ahead and add my other 1.5 cups of meat and beans. All right, so right now we have, I so need one of those cameras that follow when you move. Okay, so far I have the 3 cups of meat and beans and 1 cup of tomato powder. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add in, 1 heaping tablespoon of my seasoning mix. And 1 tablespoon of beef bouillon. Okay. And try and get that to fall down in between the beans and meat. All right, then we need 1/2 cup of peppers. And you could do whatever kind. I have these mixed bell peppers. There's all different colors: red, yellow, green, orange. And they smell so good. So I'm gonna put put 1/2 cup of those in. And minced onion. I want minced onion in there. Just putting 1 of these scoops in there. And some garlic. I'm going to put some hot pepper flakes in there as well. Remember, guys, this is chili. You can put whatever you want in there. Whatever you want, whatever you have. Just make sure that everything that you're using is shelf stable, whether it's dehydrated or freeze dried, whichever. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go over my list just to make sure that I added all the flavoring things. Okay, 2 cups of beans, 1 cup of beef, 1 cup tomato powder, dehydrated onion, bell peppers, beef bouillon, chili seasoning, and chili flakes. That's it. That's it, guys. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in a silica pack. Now in my jars, I'm just going to add in a silica pack. And this will keep all the moisture out. That if whenever I go ahead and seal these with my food saver, suck out the air, if for some reason it would that lid would pop, at least it would still keep the moisture out. So, okay. And I need lids. So there we go. There is 1 quart jar of chili. Now this will serve 4 to 6 people, depend on your serving size. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do 2 more quarts, and then I've got 3 of the pints here that will be a serving for 2, which like I said would be a perfect serving size for if I'm putting these on nachos or using it as chili dogs. And then I will go ahead and do some Mylar bags for you. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up for you so you don't have to sit and watch me do this all over again. And I'll see you back a little bit later for some extra notes. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the pint jars, which is like 1 to 2 servings. So I'm gonna do half of the ingredients that is in the book. Okay, where's my cup? Okay. Okay, so I did 3 quarts and 3 pints. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use up the rest of the stuff that I have here in doing the Mylar bags. Now I am out of beef, so these are just going to be all bean chili. Okay, friends, my camera died, and I'm not really sure where. At one point it died because I was doing stuff. So I'm not gonna know where my camera died until I go ahead and edit this video. So if I missed anything important, I will definitely add it in at the end. But what I have done is I went ahead and made tags for both my pint jars and my quart jars. Now, what I do on the one side is I put chili, 2 servings, chili, 4 to 6 servings. And then on the other side, I put the directions on how to make it. And for the pint, you add 3 to 4 cups of boiling water, simmer 15 to 30 minutes. The ratio depends on how you like your chili. If you like more of a thicker chili, then you'll want to stay around the 3 cups. If you want more of a thinner chili, then go ahead and put 4 cups of water. And then the quarts, same exact instructions, just different amounts of water. Add 7 to 8 cups of boiling water, then simmer 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, and then that's all you do. Now, like I had mentioned in my previous video, I like to put instructions with each of the meals because it might not be me that's cooking the meal. It might be somebody else in my family, or it might be somebody else that you're giving this to. You know, if you are handing out meals to people, this way they know what it is and the instructions on how to cook it. So that is my jars. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use the rest of my open ingredients that I have here. I have still have some red bell peppers left, and I have some beans. And what I did was I went ahead and mixed all the beans together and just mixed them up really good. And then I have all my seasonings and spices over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the Mylar bags, and I write on them prior to me putting anything in them. I don't know how many I'm gonna need, so I just started out with 2, and I'm just writing 2 servings chili because I'm just making this the same size as the pints there. Add 3 to 4 cups of boiling water, simmer 15 to 30 minutes. And then we're gonna go ahead and add to these, and then we're gonna seal them. Now my Mylar bags has this kind of a bottom, so they stand up nice. If you have the ones that don't have this bottom, if you have these are wonderful. These are for like Ziploc bags and stuff when we're making any type of like freezer meals or anything like that. Or if you just need to hold up any type of bags, or this will keep it upright and stable for you so you can pour the ingredients that you need in there. So I'll try and remember to link these down below. I got these off of Amazon. They are not expensive at all. I got, I think, a 6-pack or 7-pack or something. And they're great for me whenever I'm doing like freezer meals or like marinated meats and I'm doing a whole bunch of them. I can set them all up and I could just go ahead and dump in all of them while they're standing up. But these have the flat bottom, so they will stand up. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the same ingredients that I added to the pint jars. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups of beans. And then I'm going to do 1/4 cup of peppers. And some onions. And we're going to do 1/2 cup of tomato powder. Shoo! Oh, excuse me, the spices over here again. Okay, about 1/2 cup of tomato powder. Then I'm going to add 1/2 tablespoon of seasoning, 1/2 tablespoon of beef bouillon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a little bit of garlic, and there we go. Do I have everything? I sure do. Okay, and like I mentioned before, you can put extra stuff in it as long as you're using shelf-stable ingredients, whether it's freeze-dried or dehydrated. You can add whatever you want into this chili. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, no, I'm not gonna worry about zipping it yet because I wanna put oxygen absorbers into these. So I'll wait until I do them all at the same time. Okay. One and a half cups. And quarter cup of peppers. Half a scoop of onions. A little bit of garlic. Half a tablespoon of seasoning, half a tablespoon of beef bouillon, half a cup of tomato powder, okay, half a teaspoon of salt, and that is everything. All right, so I still have, let me see here. You know what? I have enough to make one more, and this one might be a little bit more. So I'm gonna make this one say 3 to 4 servings on it. 3 to 4 servings chili. And then we will add to 5 to 6 cups of boiling water. And simmer 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, half cup peppers. We'll see how much is here. 1. Yep, there's going to be 2 full cups here. So I'm just going to dump that in there. And another one done. Okay, I will go ahead and add about 3/4 of a scoop of onions. And I'll add the rest of that garlic. And about 3/4 of a tablespoon of seasoning. Half a teaspoon of salt. 3/4 of a teaspoon. And we'll go ahead and add the rest of this, which it's not quite. It was 1 cup. No, it was half a cup. But it will be fine. Okay. Okay, so we got several more empty jars and another empty can. This one has a little bit in. I'm not worried about it because peppers are used in just about everything. So they'll probably be used up in the next meal that I make for you guys. But I did get rid of 3 of my open containers. And we'll put this back for the next use. Now right here I have, these are oxygen absorbers, and these are all 500 cc. Now you can use 500 cc in anything from like a gallon or lower. You don't even need 500 for these bags. You could use a 200 cc for like quart bags. I just try to eliminate having so many different kinds, so I buy them in 2 sizes. I buy them in 500 and I buy them in 2000 cc's, because 2000 cc's is what you can use for like 5 and 6 gallon buckets. And I will put 2 of those in just to be on the safe side. I usually try to put more than what is expected in them. Like these will only need 200 cc's, but these are 500. So I'm going to go ahead and stick 1 of those in each of these bags. I'm going to push out as much air as I can. I'm going to zip them, and then we will go ahead and seal them. Okay. So I'm going to do this fairly quickly. Did you hear the pop? Fairly quickly. It doesn't happen instantly, so you don't need to be a fanatic. Hurrying up. Just put them in your bag all at once and go ahead and close up your jar again, because then that little bit of air that's in there will get sucked in and it'll seal your lid down again. So now I'm going to go ahead and push out as much air as I can. And then I'm going to go ahead and seal the Ziploc. Make sure we're sealed, and do that same thing to all of them. Okay, now all of mine are zipper sealed. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the heat seal to permanently seal them until you're ready to use them. Okay, so what we need to do for this is this part that is above the Ziploc here, where this little notch is, because that's the little notch of where you tear it whenever you need to open it up. So we're going to seal this part up here. So I'm going to take my flat iron and place it right up above where that Ziploc is. You're going to hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds. Because what you're doing is you're melting that Mylar. And it seals it permanently when it melts together. Okay, there you go. We got a nice seal on that. Now, when you come back an hour or so, what little bit of air in there, the majority of it will be, you know, sucked up. And tomorrow when you look at it, all that air will be gone. It doesn't happen immediately. Sometimes it does take time. But tomorrow when I come back to this is going to be really hard. And I'm not going to be able to push it around like this. If I can push it around like that, then that means there's still some air in there, and there could be It may not have sealed properly, or it could have been a bad oxygen absorber. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and seal the next one just above the Ziploc. 5 to 10 seconds with your flat iron. And there we go. The big thing that you want to make sure doesn't happen is creases being in here. So if you're doing the flat iron and like a side of it happens to like curl and it like overlaps, and then you go ahead and seal this, that will be an air gap that will allow air to penetrate into the Mylar bag. So you definitely want to make sure you don't have any overlapping, any like folding of the Mylar, anything like that. You want it nice and straight. And see, there's nowhere on the top here that I can pull this apart. It is like permanently sealed. Okay? We'll do this last one. Okay. All right. And there we go, friends. It's 3 Mylar bags, 3 pints, and 3 quarts. This chili will be shelf stable as long as there's no oxygen in there. It's not going to deteriorate in flavor or your vitamins and so forth. I mean, many years down the road, yes, it will eventually deteriorate, but as long as everything is sealed and that oxygen is not in there, it is something that is going to be edible for you and your family, or for you to hand out to somebody else if they are people that are in need of a meal. So keep these on hand. I would suggest if you're doing Mylar, still stick them in something else, whether it's like a Rubbermaid tote type thing, or a 5-gallon bucket, or whatever. I wouldn't just leave them like this unless you use them, you know, or unless you are putting them, you are making these for camping and you want to go ahead and just stick them in your backpack or so forth. But I wouldn't go sticking just these plain things like down in your basement or something like that, because critters will get into this. And you don't want to go through all that expense of getting this stuff, the time of preparing it, and then it getting ruined. So try and stick it like in a tote or a 5-gallon bucket or something like that. And the jars are glass jars. You won't have to worry about those. Critters are not going to get in them. They will be good to go. And shelf stable 10 plus years. So, and I hope you guys enjoyed this other shelf stable chili meal. I did get so many requests for doing chili, so I hope that helps you guys. And if there's any other requests that you guys have, please leave them down in the comments below, and remember to please hit that thumbs up and subscribe, because that really helps my channel. Every time I get a thumbs up from one of you guys, it pushes my video out to more people. So please do that, and definitely comment down below, because YouTube loves those comments too. That's just another way of getting my video out there. So by subscribing and thumbs up and commenting, that is 3 ways that will push my video out to other people. So until next time, I will see you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, friends.